we have a Fox's alert on more anti-American rhetoric from North Korea. President Trump, as you may know, canceled Secretary of State Pompeo's trip there this week. And the regime of Kim Jong-un has responded by accusing the U.S. of, quote, hatching a criminal plot to, quote, unleash war, while bringing a, quote, smile on its face. Retired four-star General Jack Keane joins us, chairman for the Institute for the Study of War and a Fox News senior strategic analyst. General, is this just more meaningless bluster from Pyongyang, or is it a clue that the regime really is not sincere?
You know, it's bluster to be sure, and same thing happened when President Trump said he wasn't going to come and have the summit. So they're reacting to that, and what they feel is a little bit of public humiliation. And in the Asian culture, they're very sensitive to that. But really, what's going on here is clearly we have made demands, Eric, of the North Koreans to identify all your nuclear and ballistic sites, where they're located as well. Let's send some people, independent authorities in to verify those locations. And we have suggested to them a time schedule to denuclearize. They have balked at all of that and have not been forthcoming. So I think what the Trump team is saying, okay, we're going to take a pause here. Public diplomacy will remain. President Trump hasn't given up publicly on Kim Jong-un, but certainly the national security team clearly understands that North Korea looks like they're playing a hand that they've played before, and this security team will not put up with it.
Yeah, you know, when you talk about the hand they played before, when the president canceled or said he was going to cancel the summit, I mean, that sent a blunt message to Kim Jong-un, and they relented. Do you think this now has shaken them up?
Well, it may. I mean, certainly the administration is thinking that it'll bring them back to the table and start to make some concessions. We have already made, I think, a fairly significant concession, not the exercises, because we can turn those back on anytime. We'll talk about the joint military exercises. But when we said that the time schedule that we had, we adjusted it to theirs, and we actually defined it as patient diplomacy. This is what Secretary Pompeo said. Recognizing that in that culture, trust is important to them, and it's going to take them some time. Well, we're not going to stay and sit on our hands indefinitely, and that's what the Trump administration is saying right now. They have not seen any positive signs, and they have intelligence that we don't have, and likely they have some intelligence that shows that Kim Jong-un is actually advancing his capability as opposed to diminishing it.
That would be, something to really hold their feet to the fire on. Meanwhile, we've been remembering and thinking about John McCain all weekend. Your thoughts? He appointed you to the National Defense Strategy Commission. You testified in front of him at the committee. He was a friend.
Yeah. Well, certainly it's sad for America. My heart goes out to the senator's family and his close friends and the thousands and thousands of friends that John McCain had that really cared about him. Listen, we're going to miss him tremendously on the American stage and on the world stage. I mean, certainly, it's extraordinary the years of public service, both military and in political public life, that he had. That's in itself is almost unprecedented. But really, what separates, I think, John McCain is the character of that service and the fact that he saw public service as being noble and full of honor because you were committing yourself to the ideals that America stood for: life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, equal rights, all the things that differentiates America from the rest of the world. And then he also believed so strongly that America is a country of destiny, and particularly post-World War II, that because of the generosity of our people and the prosperity of our nation, we had an opportunity to influence the world. So he became a proponent for American leadership, as others have been, as indispensable in trying to promote stability, security, and prosperity in the world. And he had a moral authority and a clarity, I believe, in my lifetime that few presidents have. It's normally reserved for presidents to have that kind of degree and respect. And I think some presidents haven't risen to the level that John McCain was able to achieve across this nation and also across the world.
Certainly, as you said, so well said. General John McCain, a man of courage and conviction, an American patriot, of course. Good to see you, General. Thank you.
Yeah, good talking to you, Eric.
Of course.